Evening, everyone. Welcome to TMA Sunday Night Live, where you choose the topics and we will discuss them. Before we get on, big shout out to Luther once again. Hope you're on the men, mate. Obviously, club ambassador, Watford's favourite son, ex-England international, first black player to score a hat trick for England, top goal scorer for Watford. I mean, amongst many other things, fantastic gentleman of football. Hope Luther's on the men. So once again, Luther, the legend. Hopefully, you get well, mate. Right, okay. I'm with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Moobs, Canadian Darren, Mr. Wendover, Greg Theko. Evening, boys.
Evening.
Evening.
Evening all. Evening all.
Evening all.
Right, okay. So if you want to add any of your any topics or comments, obviously we've got one lined up right now. So yeah, just add them in, and we'll see if we can get through them before about 1:30 when Moobs gets his segment out for the lads for later. So we've got a couple of results and stuff from Moobs, so we'll do that later. Right, yeah. So let's get your comments through and let's get straight on with it.
Watford FC, that's it for me.
Right, okay, so Dan Brown, evening Dan, cheers for the comment, mate. Right, he says, what do we need in January to mount a serious challenge? Mr. Moobs, I know Greg's was messaging me in the week about talking about this, so I know he'll have plenty to say on the matter as well, which is gladfully accepted as well, but what do you reckon, mate?
Well, firstly, good evening, everyone. Yes, it's basically called a list. That's what we need. Need a list. Yeah, wheel them off as fast as you can, faster than the wheel of fortune. What did? Mr. Cusac's here. Oh, everyone's going to be happy now.
Batman's #1 fan.
Yeah, get ready for the depressing comments. Only joking. Look at that straight away. Took the words right out of my mouth. Right, possibly we do need a new keeper. I also think we need maybe another centre-back. I do believe we are a couple of midfielders light as well. I have a sneaky feeling Ken Sema's going to go in January as well, which means he would have to be replaced. And if he does go, well, thank you for everything, mate, because you've been an absolute legend. Scored some important ones over the years and certainly wore the badge with pride, wore the shirt with pride, and put his body on the line every time. So, yeah, I think at least a couple of midfielders. And I'd also like us to possibly either go and sign a striker or get Rajovic back off loan. I think, I know Bayo is on this balmy run of form. I think that's the best way to put it, because he don't even know half the time he's scored. Friday night with the classic example. Not sure which part of the body it come off, but apparently the goal was allowed to stand. If we'd had VAR, that'd have been ruled out probably. But yeah, that's what I think is. I think Jefferson, he just, I don't know. I don't think he's good enough. Yes, I did. It's amazing. Actually, that's a bit of a pun because as I was just telling Pidge, I don't have a car at the minute because it's gone bang. Not great. Not been a great day. But yeah, I think get rid of Jefferson, get a striker in, or maybe two. Bring back Rajovic and get another one in. Lee, you're spot on. I actually said this the other week about Sissoko. I think it's now got to the stage where he can't play every game, or if he does, he's got to come off after a certain time to keep him fresh because his legs are going. He's a great box to box player, but he's getting on now. So I think I think that's where I'll stand on it. I don't think we need to worry about the wing back situation or the fullbacks. I think we've got enough of them. But yeah, maybe one or two. Yes, it was. But apparently, we've been asked to judge, and he said no. Didn't get his kebab order on time, apparently. Maybe one defender, a couple of midfielders, and maybe a couple of strikers, and maybe a new goalkeeper. That's where I'll stand on it.
For me, I think possibly another centre back, somebody else in midfield, and striker. I'm not over convinced with. I know Bayo's doing well, and I wish any player well, and I'm glad for him, but doesn't overfill me with confidence. And I think I was listening to that really interesting podcast of our place from the other night, and I obviously I'm in Canada, but it was alluded to that we were in the summer interested in somebody from the either Division 1 and 2.
I asked the question, Darren. I was there.
Okay. Oh, cool. Okay.
You can want to blame anyone, blame him.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, the question I asked was, I said, it's no secret that we were in for, and I'll mention the name because the Peterborough chairman has openly mentioned it himself.
Right.
The player was Hector Capriano.
Right.
Were you indeed in for him, and will you be going back again? And we got a very diplomatic, yes, we did go in, couldn't do a deal. Possibly he's not for us in this coming window. However, he's out of contract in the summer. He won't sign a new one. Who knows?
Cool.
But he's injured at the moment.
Okay.
And we got enough for them, haven't we?
Well, the thing is, yeah, but it's funny as well how Peterborough as a club have a history of getting good players, specifically forwards. So I'd like to see that. I know Tom's very, sort of considerate of Jebison, but at the end of the day, you don't bring a lone player in to help rebuild their confidence. And that sounds a bit harsh, perhaps. I don't know, but I don't know. And I still get the feeling that because of the way he's setting up, I think Tom is still on the fence with Rajovic, so we'll see. But those are my three. I think possibly a centre back, a midfielder, and definitely a striker. As for, I feel that the club and Tom feel 100% comfortable with Backman, and I do. I know some people don't, and that's what these debates are all about, right? I'm happy, but I do think Gray's second goal. I mean, it was a screamer of a goal, but for both of them, Dan didn't move particularly at all. But I still rate him. And that's where it's about choice, right? So, be interesting to see. And what I will say is this: I think, here we are towards the end of November, and we're 7th, 6 points from top. It's a cracking start to the season. And I think it's a decent, like I've said before, it's not a poor squad, it's not a superb squad, but it's a decent squad, and Cleverley is making some good players look even better, and I think that's brilliant. And I really hope we get into the top 6 going into the new window, because I'd love to see the club back in, because this is such a topsy-turvy league this year. More than ever, anyone can get a string of few good results, and love to see it. So what do you think, Greg? And thanks for that.
Yeah, no problem at all. No problem at all. Tom gave a very diplomatic answer towards both Jebison and Big Reg. I think Big Reg isn't going to happen. I think Big Reg doesn't fit into his system. I think if you played with a 2, maybe, but he's not going to ever play with a 2, I don't think. Reg, if you were doing the old Graham Taylor, big man, little man, might be okay, but I don't think Reg is going to happen. And Jebison, he gave a very diplomatic answer around the lad's confidence. Well, he didn't even make the whole squad on Friday night, so I would say watch this space for this one. My guess is he'll go back to Bournemouth in January, because he's no use to Bournemouth not playing for us. But it doesn't do our reputation on taking Premier League loans very good. But what do I think? Keeper, don't think it's going to happen, chaps. I think if they had done a keeper, they would have done it in the summer. What I would have done in the summer is bought a better number 2 in to press Dan. Bond, got nothing against Bondy, but you know what you're getting with Bondy, and he's sort of okay, but he's never going to be better than Dan Backman. Centre back, I think it all depends on Kevin Caban, how quickly you can get him fit. If you can't get him fit quickly, yes, maybe need another. Midfield is a tricky one. So there's a lot of variables for the midfield. I grant you, Sissoko probably only better playing one game a week. Loser has come into the side and looked decent.
Yeah.
And he's come into the side and looked, and there's no surprise. Well, we played really well in the first half on Friday night, and we had more time in midfield. We didn't. That is largely down to Loser, but he's got 18 months left on his deal. He's on a lot of money. He's never going to get another deal from us on that money again.
Yeah.
And if we're going to cash in, January might be the time. He's got 18 months left. You go to the summer, that he's got 12 months left. You risk losing him on a Bosman. So, yeah, that's where I feel on that. Forward, yeah, I think if Jefferson goes back, I'd go back in the loan market. Two names I'll give you I'd look at. Ryan Hardy at Plymouth, who has been a pain in the arse every time we've played them, out of the picture under Rooney at the moment. I think he'd be worth looking at. And I'd also have another look at El Hamedi at Ipswich, who is a pressing machine and isn't getting minutes at all at Ipswich.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good, mate. Because the thing is, as well, a lot of people, you know what it's like, especially on X. A lot of people say, "Well, this is no good. This is no good," but they don't come up with any examples. At least there, you've said, right, this is what we need. This is what these are the certain areas that need to be looked at. And here's the examples that I'm thinking. Because everyone comes up with, say, well, that's a stupid suggestion, but they never come up with a suggestion that is not as stupid, if you know what I mean. They never come up with anything. They just criticise. Anyway, let's get to comments.
Worry about Pete. Sorry to jump in.
Go on.
Tom Denny Bashir's injury.
Yeah.
They said at the forum his knee's flared up. We're managing it. It should be it sounds like it's something they can only ever manage. He's already had a big condition there on his knee.
Well, like Leslie King, look, he had arthritis and they keep doing it at was it? And look at Gifton. Noel Williams was another one here.
Yeah. I don't think they ever want to open him up again. So
no, it's no point. Once you get arthritis, you can't do anything else or anything like that towards that sort of thing. You can't cure it, you know. Right, okay. So Cusack, evening peeps. Terry, big shout out to 13th birthday to Isabel as well. Terry's daughter, so hope she's had a fantastic day. So happy 13th birthday to Isabel. Halsey, evening geezers. Arn got back from Southampton quickly then. Yeah, very quickly, mate. Sissoko, cracking player in his day, but visibly looks very slow. That's from Cusack. No Dino tonight. Like we've confirmed, his bail was refused, so he's stuck over there. So we will get him in next week. He was here Thursday, then it got refused, so we had to deport him back, sadly. Angela, evening, says, hello, you lovely lot. Cusack, get yourself down to Cafella in Kings Langley for a new car moves, run by Hornets. They'll do a good deal. Do you think we will go for Andre Gray? Comedy. Everyone's a comedian, Angela. But we'll go through we'll go a quick yes or no round in a minute. Halsey, in Scotland, apparently the phrase "fuck off" isn't allowed to be shouted in pubs. I think we are better in Championship, to be honest, from Angela. Halsey, is Darren going for an interview to be Santa somewhere in Canada? We'll get confirmation of that soon. Melanie, evening, Melanie. She says, I'm over the moon with this start. Well up, Klebs. Dan, we're creating enough chances, almost like the old GT days, where if they score 4, we'll score 5. What we're lacking is a striker. If Bio was decent, he'd have 15 this season. Cusack says to you, Greg, turn the kettle off and wipe your camera. It's definitely boiled, mate. So they said on the subject to that, mate, he says, I've gone from a Turkish prison to a Turkish sauna. That's from Dan, by the way, mate. He looks very refreshed, to be fair, Dan. So but yeah, look, if you go ask me that question as well, I'll definitely go for another goalkeeper. I don't want to hate on Batman, but I'll go definitely for another goalkeeper and certainly another striker. Like you said, I agree with Jefferson. It's not working out. The whole point of loaning a player over to another club is they get decent game time, so they can assess where they are at that point, and then obviously see what they need to do going forward for their actual parent club. It's not working out, so send him back. And like you said, the two examples you gave us are pretty sound ones, so I wouldn't complain if either one of them. But definitely the Ipswich lad will be really good signing, mate. It's a good shout. Definitely, mate. Right, okay, quick yes or no. It's a no for me. Moves, Darren, Greg, Andre Gray.
No.
Just simple no. It was Friday night was a flash in the pan. And it's clear and simple. It was a flash in the pan.
He had moves techers that night, mate. He definitely had moves techers.
He did. But he also showed why he was crap. Because he had a gilt-edged chance of a header from 6 yards out, and he found sod in Rose Egg. All he had to do was knock it down, and Backman wasn't getting there.
I remember that pre-season game. Was it at Kings Langley? Was it at Kings Langley where he skied it from about 7 yards out or so? 6-7 yards out.
Yeah. And we just stood there and went, "What the blazing hell is
going on?" I saw that
here?
and went, "Really?" It's a good shot because it almost went in the other goal, the other pitch. So you've got to take the positives from it. Yeah. Exactly,
Nearly hit my car that day, I think.
Yeah.
He's probably still suffering now, mate. That's why it broke down today, mate.
Probably did, actually.
The frustrating thing is, though, he wouldn't have got that second one if we would have hoofed it.
Yeah.
Or closed him down would have helped as well, mate.
And not let the ball go out for a throw-in. And really, really frustrating evening because I thought we played really, really well. Certainly in the first half, I thought we were absolutely outstanding.
Yeah,
Scott.
My mate's over here in Canada. My mate's a Plymouth fan. He's from Plymouth, and he said to me, he said, Darren, totally undeserved that draw. He said it was your guy. Although Plymouth were better second half, Watford were a far, far better team. And when you look at the chances, the one that really annoyed me was Bayo was through, and he took, to be fair, he took a shot on goal and the keeper saved it pretty well. But if he'd have looked for a second, just looked up, right across the 6-yard box, I can't think who was to his right, but somebody was wide open. It's just that experience and intelligence, just looking up.
I agree, Darren. And I think the other turning point, Darren, I know we applaud Georgie, but that first touch of his, that first touch would have been better. That was a goal. But his first touch made him go wide. And he's got to add goals to his game. If he adds goals to him, actually, if Georgie adds goals to his game, he's not at Watford for much longer. But that first touch took him out wide, and that had goal written all over it.
And it's a funny thing, I think, because it makes you realise just what a quality player he is. It really stood out that his first touch was poor at that point, because normally his first touch is mustard, right? His quality. And it's a shame. And we had chances to win it. But that's the thing with this league. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this season. It's been such a refreshing change.
Right, apparently Bayo's toilet, but the thing is, though, you look at his stats, he's got 7 in 5 in for club and country. So he'll just turn around. Okay, they've been scrambled goals, but you look at it at the moment, he'll look at you and say, well, I've got 7 in 5, so I can't be doing that bad. It's just, if he consistently does it, then obviously he won't be so toilet. Right, let's get a few more comments. It was curse of the former player twice, sadly, from Halsey. Mr. Thorpe's got a couple of questions that we'll get to in a second. But evening, Michael, I hope you're well, mate. Kusek says, I don't understand the 5-year contract for Pollock. Mate, he's basically Baresi. He's basically Baresi of Watford, mate. He's absolutely awesome, mate. And give him a bloody 10-year deal as far as I'm concerned at the moment.
Protect your asset awesome as well.
He deserves it, mate. He's played the season so far.
It makes just on that Pollock thing, it does make me wonder if come January someone's going to launch a cheeky bid for him. I think,
or is it a load of Pollock?
I just feel someone in the bottom half of the Prem, probably around the relegation places, is
a bit like Man United.
It could be Man United.
It could be someone in relegation trouble like Man United. Going for him.
But no, maybe someone like you think I could think maybe like a Southampton or well, I know Leicester.
Why would he go to Southampton? Because they're probably going to get relegated anyway.
Yeah, they probably would do, but it's
that Prem.
There's more money. There's more money there.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would, if personally, I mean, I'm never good enough and never would be. But personally, you look at it from our point of view. Yes, you get a bit of Premier League football, but then next season you'll be back in the Championship.
Exactly.
So
maybe Nottingham Forest are going to bid for him.
Well, Forest that'll make sense playing for someone like Forest. You're guaranteed he'll play every game, or as many games as he can, and they're a decent side at the moment. Okay, they lost their way, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Brighton went in for him.
And
I can't see him going there.
I'd see it.
No, I don't. No, I don't think it'll happen.
I agree. You go to a small club in the bottom half of the table like United or something like that. I think it'll probably be someone like that. I think you never know, mate.
The deal is to protect the asset.
Yeah, like Georgie's one, like Dave.
Yeah, it's to protect your asset.
How do you explain the Ngakia one then?
Oh, well, let's not go there.
No.
How long have we got?
Throw that grenade at Twitter. In the Twitter spaces, throw that grenade, mate. That'll basically be a 2-hour session,
I think Pollock is next year's captain on the field elect. He might not be club captain if Backman stays on, but there's your next captain without a doubt.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Let's get a few more comments. Can we stay in the top 10? We'll come to that in a minute, Mike. Byers should have buried that chance of Halsey. So excited to be at the Vic Tuesday. First game in ages due to work from Melanie. Brilliant, Melanie. I'm glad to think. Hope you enjoy it. Yeah, like I say, Cusack Byers toilet. Georgie's pure quality. I was surprised he was sub early. Dan, we're good when we attack. We're useless when we sit back to protect the lead. So why did we do it? Dave, what did you think of the big miss by Porteous? That was a tapping. We'll come to that in a minute, mate. Oh, very nice, mate. Setting the mood. He's still in a sauna, boys and girls. It's very nice. Right, Cusack says his goals have come off all parts of his anatomy, apart from his feet. Apart from that overhead kick, mate, by the way. Stuart said, evening, Stuart. He says, Forest. So where's Dennis? Dave said... Would you? Sorry, mate. He said, would you take Che Adams in January? He's getting no more game time at Southampton. It's a good shout. Dave is too good for us at the moment. And happy Halloween from Halsey. Brilliant. Right, okay, let's get to Michael's things before we go, because we've got Moves' segment coming up shortly. I know Dave's got... We'll be really quick with these ones. How many points are we going to get in the... Will we finish... Right, two in one, boys. Moves, how many points in the next two games, and will we finish in the top 10?
I reckon 6 points. Yes, we can easily finish top 10. Easily. We've got momentum now. Let's do it.
Canadian?
Yeah, I know we've got Bristol City on Tuesday. Who have we got on the weekend?
QPR.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, I can see 6 points from that, definitely.
Danny Hyman's favourite side, Darren, by the way. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He supports them, really.
But for me, yeah, top 10. I honestly think that with the right backing, we've got the potential for top 6 at the end of the season. I really do. We're not a bad side. We're still overall a young squad with some experience, definitely, but this is not a bad side. And the way Tom's coaching, particularly the youngsters with the backing staff, yeah, I don't think there's no reason to not think why we won't finish in the top 6. So just my shout. What do you think, Greg?
Well, firstly, Che Adams isn't getting many minutes for Southampton because he plays for Torino now. But
that explains it.
He moved to Torino in the summer.
You and your knowledge.
We're going to get 6 out of 6. Bristol won't be easy. They're a decent side, though they lost at home on Saturday. QPR, well, QP, ha 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 ha. We'll turn them over.
Yeah. 4 points from Stuart. He said Bristol game's going to be difficult. Yeah, I mean, I said this yesterday with Dunk, that Bristol City are no mugs and neither are QPR. So I expect both of them to be really, really tough games. But I think I'm looking with my head 4. Heart says 6, so I'll go with 4. Which I'll probably be wrong, but hey ho. Right, Dave's couple of ones. Right, boys, just before we get on to the other segment, couple more here, right, from Big Dave. He says, what do you think of the Porteous save? He thought it was a tap-in. And also, we've already done the Che Adams one. So the Porteous miss on Friday, what do you reckon? He thought it was a tap-in. Was that a tap-in? Who wants to start with that?
Which?
Yeah, I know the one. It was when
which miss?
It was difficult because the defender was closing in on him quickly, and he didn't have a good view, and he had to get a shot away quickly. For a centre back, I wouldn't be too critical.
Yeah,
boys.
Yeah, no, I agree with Greg. I remember if it's the one I'm remembering, it came across, and yeah, it was being closed down. You know, we've seen, you know, obviously forwards miss better chances for sure. So yeah, it's one of those things, and he did eventually get on the score sheet anyway. So, you know, yeah. I know, Moves.
I think I know the one you're on about now. I think I saw it. I'm sure I saw it. I think there was one that was a bit tough for him.
It was like a side foot when a centre back was closing in on him.
Yes, yeah, okay. I think we got to give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, they're not all good. You know, you can't score them all. So I think, yeah.
I think if
on another day, he probably puts it in, but you know, just Friday night at that time, it just wasn't meant to be in. But then he made up for it.
Yeah, so I mean, he scored anyway. But yeah, it was. I give him the benefit of the doubt. It was. Yeah, like Greg saying, the defender was closing in. So me personally, I'd just about give him the benefit of the doubt for that. Have you converted a hard wire into a Kodak Instamatic? Oh, that's he says bottom left. That's Greg, by the way, Lee. He says bottom left, by the way. So Mr. Bottom Left, question for you. He says, have you converted and hardwired in a Kodak Instamatic?
I'll put my light back on.
Hey! And also, why have you got Darren behind you?
That's George.
George. That's not John McClane over here, then.
That's the one and only George Michael. I'd just like to add on the Porteous goal. Wasn't it lovely to see one centre half crossing it for another centre half to score? I haven't seen that at Watford for, well, I don't know, since GT's days. Yeah. Centre back crossing the ball for another centre back. I think Ian Bolton used to get a few crosses.
Oh, Ian Bolton, what a player he was.
But yeah, wasn't that brilliant to see?
It was. I'll tell you what, the whole that whole move was just brilliant from the start. It was, you know, the way that we got the free kick, the way we all lined up. Everyone, just for once, everyone was switched on a free kick that we're attacking. You know, Porteous knew when to run, Pollock knew when to run, and it was just a case of, well, if the Plymouth lot are going to go to sleep, we're going to get you, and we did. And it was just so not right. Great, it was just so right to see.
Yeah, by the way, just before we get to your segment, mate, this is big shout out to Brown Electronics, by the way. Thanks for watching. He goes, top right looks like he has a halo, and Cusack's corrected him, so that's Moobs, by the way. It is a halo. It is holier than thou. Right, okay, Moobs, you ready for your segment?
Yeah, this has cheered me up, I'll tell you, after the day I've had. This has proper cheered me up.
Yeah, but anyone's got any car repair requests, please put them in for Moobs and give numbers and emails and everything, boys. So during this segment, please, any car jokes, more than welcome as well. So, right, okay, let's go.
It's the Hardy slot. Oh, nice little bit of rhyme there, the Carlsy. Well done. Yes, hello everyone. Hello, we're back after a couple of weeks break. I'm not in the best of moods today, unfortunately. You probably did a pitch with a few little jokes. We were having a chat beforehand. Unfortunately, I've had a bad day with my car, which has really finished me off for the year, I think. But welcome to everyone's favourite segment of the show of the weekend. By the way, if you do hear some shouting in the background, don't be concerned. I've got the NFL on, so it's good. Apparently, it's good. Right, a little bit of news because it's all been going off. I'll leave non-league for now because that's just more depressing than anything at the minute. I'll start off with the girls because the girls have been playing week in, week out whilst we've been having a break. I'll just recap a couple of results because they had two massive games in the league in the last couple of weeks. Two games that would define their season. And define it has because they needed 2 wins and they got the 2 wins. The first win came a couple of weekends back on Remembrance Weekend. Played at home to Exeter City, thrashed them 5-2 and tore them apart, which was brilliant. Last weekend, we took on, at the time, the league leaders, #United. Another game that we needed to win. It was more of a revenge game because they beat us on the opening day. Quite comfortably as well, which was rather alarming, and I think it woke the girls up a bit because they had a bit of a culture shock that day. But we got them back. We beat them 2-0, and it was absolutely brilliant to see everyone's faces light up again. Was just brilliant. I think the news happened. No, I don't think we've done this one since we've been on. But I think if you probably saw it, you may not have heard it. If you haven't heard it, I'd love to know where you've been because we have a former player back with us. Yes, at the end of last season, Bianca Baptiste retired from football at the age of 32, which was quite worrying, but has sensationally performed a massive U-turn and come out of retirement and is back with the Golden Girls. She has a deal till the end of this season, which is brilliant. We welcome her back with open arms. It's great to see her back on the pitch. She's played she's featured in the last couple of games. I don't know if she played today because I didn't make it due to the car. But moving on to today's one, unfortunately, the girls have exited the FA Cup at the second round in the women's one. They've gone down by a 0-0 away at Oxford United. Sounded like we were on top today from what the boys were messaging me earlier. We just could not get that ball across the line again, which is a bit frustrating. We did have a penalty which was saved. Yes, you can. Thank you, Mr. Ross, birthday boy from the other day, and my sidekick normally. Thank you very much for that, sir. Not been it's been a rough old day in more ways than one. So yeah, we are out of the FA Cup. But a big one we've actually got next week because we've been talking about Plymouth. Well, how's a little bit of deja vu? Because Watford are going back to Plymouth next weekend. Yes, it's not going to be the men. It's the girls this time that are going to Home Park. Next weekend it is FA Women's National League Cup quarter final. Okay, and we are playing Plymouth Argyle. Now, the Plymouth women have moved out of their old stadium and they're now playing at Plymouth Argyle's men's stadium at Home Park. So where the men were Friday night. So next Sunday, if there's any Southwest Hornets on, honestly, if you can get down there, 2:00 kickoff, you will have to get tickets. I don't think they're going to do it. They might do them on the day. The girls at home. Stuart, I will check unless Ross is still on and he's Mr. Fixture List for this, so he'll be able to tell us what's going on. But yeah, if you can get down to Plymouth next Sunday, 2:00, Home Park, you can get a ticket. You can get a ticket for the game. You need to go on Plymouth Argyle's website, and you can buy them through there. So it would be great to have a load of supporters down there, especially if you live down in the southwest. I know the other year when we were in the National League South, I hope he isn't either, Halsey. If he is, I'll go down there myself and break his legs. But I know the other year we had quite a few Hornets turn up when the girls played in Plymouth. So hopefully they'll be able to do that again. So so that is everything with the girls now. Going to move on to non-league, and this is.
Stu?
I can upset her faster than most people. So yeah, the fact that I've just said that, she'll probably find out and go off on one I'll be in the papers this week for it, knowing my luck. But right, moving on to a bit of non-league, and well, if you're a Hemel fan, it's just getting worse. No win in 11 now. It stands no win in 11 games. That is league and cup, and it is absolutely alarming. They have slid down. Hemel have slid down the table faster than bloody, I don't know, than the kid goes down a play slide probably. That's how bad it is. They are at home tomorrow night. The Tudors, they play Dorking Wanderers. That's not going to be an easy game. That is going to be a very tough one. Dorking are a full-time team and are absolutely going for it in National League South. Unfortunately, like I say, with the Tudors losing, they did play on Saturday at Tunbridge and they got beat by 2-0. Like I say, I just don't know what has happened since that weekend when they played Slough and went top of the league and won. Because since then the wheels have come off in a way I didn't think. Kermit, his card's over the way today. Oh, I did, yeah. We waited. Yeah, but the Scum game's now on the Sunday, so it clashes, guys. So we'll have to sort that out. And also a little bit of news coming from some team called St Albans or Shite Albans, as me and Pidge know them by. Apparently, in the week, St Albans parted ways with their manager David Noble after a terrible run of form, pretty much worse than Hemel's. So unfortunately, yes, they're now looking for a new manager. I think they might have got one lined up, but we're not entirely sure who it is. Heard a few names bantered around, but as of yet, nothing's been announced. I think they also lost yesterday as well, which sort of makes Saturday even better, especially if you're a Hemel fan and you don't like St Albans. Can't think why. But as I always say, if the Golden Boys ain't playing on a Saturday or they're not playing in midweek and you want a game of football, have a look, see if your local non-league team's playing. Because remember, you support the non-league, you're keeping the non-league intact, and it's our grassroots, it's our heritage, and we must do everything we can to protect that. Don't want to see teams collapsing, don't want to see teams folding. So if you do get a chance, go down, help your local club out, because every time you walk through a turnstile, you're helping that club stay afloat, and I really do mean that. You can have a drink. The best thing, I always say, the best thing about non-league, most of the time you can stand there and have a pint and watch a game of football. We can't do that at Watford. We have to go down to the bar, drink it, and then go back to our seat. You can just stand there with a pint and go, yeah, nice day, whilst getting pissed. I didn't encourage that either. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Hey, we're back. Right, yeah, no, well, I'm moves. Overly get your car sorted, mate. Anyone who's wondering, I mean, Greg and know this is where the only, if you're wondering why we got AC Milan Juventus at the back, this is when Lufa played for Juve, and the guy he's left on his arse is a certain Michel Platini as well. The guy on the floor, which is literally by his legs, is Michel Platini. So that's a claim to fame there. I'll tell you what, a world-class talent who scores goals. And also Michel Platini's in the picture as well. So who knew? Definitely. So yeah, once again, big shout out to Lou. I hope you're on the mend, mate. All the best from all of us. Right, big shout as always, Moobs, Darren, Wendover. Yep. Cheers, boys. Thank you ever so much. Once again, AC Milan. It's AC Milan and Juve, mate. By the way, the Juve are in there as well, mate. Hence why I say Platini. All right, mate. So, right, okay. So we'll be back Friday. There'll be no fans verdict Saturday because I'm on a 12-hour night shift, so won't be on that. But we'll be back Sunday night as well. So Friday and Saturday, obviously, usual time, 8 p.m. So we see you then, boys. But as always, you've been beautiful. We've been TMA. It's a good night from Greg. It's good night from Moobs.
Good night from Darren.
Yeah. Cheers, boys. Have a good week. Take care.